It's now 9:09 on the 7th of May, 2026. And I recently have had several downloads of fixes for the ASI software studio. And I've discovered something very interesting. If you launch ASI live and you do not press on the arrowhead button, which is in the lower right now, you can actually step through the exposure times. It won't stack, but it basically will just reiteratively stack the same way ASI, the other ASI program runs. I don't recall the name of it. I don't use it that often. But anyway, what we're looking at here is the Leo Trio. And we're seeing a single frame of no stacking in this, but it is ASI live, of the Leo Trio at 0.1 second exposure time. Now, there are high clouds, visible clouds overhead, and we have not entered into sky dark. I probably won't even get an opportunity to do the catalog tonight, but I did notice the clouds start to dissipate anyway. But let me step you through this. This is a 0.1 second exposure, about a 4-inch scope. Now we're going to go to 0.2. Now notice the Leo Trio starts to reveal itself. At least Messier 65 and 66 does. There is vague hints in the 6-inch setting of the NGC. I think it's 3628, but I'm not sure. But I have seen it quite nicely in a 6-inch scope under better conditions. Let's pump it up to now a half a second, which is basically something like a 10-inch scope. So it's just simply called a short exposure, and we should be seeing more of the NGC, except we do have the high clouds moving in overhead once in a while. I thought it was further over here, but I'm beginning to see something there. Let's run through this quickly. Now we're up to a 1-second exposure, and you can start to see some extended nebulosity here in the Messiers, plus it's pretty clear that NGC 3628, which I believe it is off to the right. That's a 1-second exposure. And a 1-second exposure is basically along the lines of a 13-inch telescope view. Once again, under poor conditions so far. It's not sky dark. Now here's a 2-second exposure. Give it a chance to accumulate some photons, and now things are getting a little more present. Remember, these are only single stacks, but I have not initiated the arrowhead button to begin stacking. Now we're up to a 5-second exposure, taking a bit long to accumulate the photons. We're beginning to see the dark lane here in NGC 3628. All right, so that's a 5-second exposure. Now what I'm going to do is press the arrowhead button to see if we can get some stacks. If we can, we will launch into the NGC 4700 Century tonight. I believe that's what we're up to now. Yes, 47 to 4799. So I'm going to initialize a stack, and this will be our preview study. And there we go. It just takes an initial stack. Ooh, we're getting some nice features in the Leo Trio. And that is going to be our launching vision for this evening. 4 minutes in, we got to get cracking. Okay, we are now seeing NGC 4700. It's a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.9, 3 by 0.5 arc minutes, spiral with a uppercase B, a bar, plus a C, 64 million light years distant, RA 124907, with a declination of minus 11 degrees, 24 minutes, and 43 seconds. Very nice view. I think the clouds are thinning out and dissipating, or it's just getting darker and I'm not seeing it. Let's move on to our next study. NGC 4701 is near the middle of the field, bright enough to reveal itself. It's a galaxy in Virgo. It is magnitude 12.4, 3.1 by 2.6 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c. Seems to have a brighter core than usual for a C. 53 million light years distant, puts it at about 50,000 light years in diameter. RA 124911 with a declination of plus 3 degrees, 23 minutes and 20 seconds. NGC 4702 is suspected in the field. It could be a little bit out of position. Let's see if we can find it. Could be some clouds overhead. There is a brightish galaxy here. Let's see where that is located in the field. Not too bad. I guess I had pushed it off. Okay. NGC 4702, galaxy in Gamma Berenices. It's magnitude 15. However, that's probably photographic. Spiral with a lowercase c and disturbed. There's a pair of galaxies there. 275 million light years distant. 0.8 by 0.4 arc minutes. Right ascension 124902. Declination plus 27 degrees, 10 minutes, 47 seconds. NGC 4703 is quite apparent in the field of view. However, 03 is a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14.5, 2.7 by 0.5 arc minutes. It does have an aspect ratio to it. Spiral with a lowercase b, 201 million light years distant, so it's probably magnitude 13.5, but it is right ascension 1249.19 with a southerly declination of 9 degrees, 6 minutes, and 31 seconds. That should be our NGC 4703. NGC 4704 seems to be quite apparent in the field as well. Wow, those clouds must have dissipated. Galaxy Canis Venatici, but we're further north. Magnitude 13.71 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar. Lowercase b, c, with some perturbations. 364 million light years distant, puts it about 120,000 light years in diameter. RA 1248.46, declination plus 41 degrees, 55 minutes and 15 seconds. An early start means no reflected light or loss due to aperture block. NGC 4705 is right in the middle of the field, visible at 30x. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 14. It's got to be brighter than that. 3.1 by 1 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 193 million light years distant. This is a biggie, probably over almost 200,000 light years in diameter. RA 1249.25, declination minus 5 degrees, 11 minutes, 45 seconds. NGC 4708 is quite apparent in the field. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 14, 1.2 by 0.9 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase ab, and a ring. 186 million light years distant, means it may be 70,000 light years in diameter. Let's push up the magnification, look for a frontier, and then head out. NGC 4710, very nice edge-on galaxy in Gamma Berenices, magnitude 11.4.9 by 1.6 arc minute, has perturbations in it. Our texture, spiral lowercase a, 59 million light years distant, right ascension 1249.38, declination plus 1509.53. Let's have that 150x view full of the maximum amount of photonage possible. NGC 4711, look for it in the middle of the field. Yes, visible galaxy in Canis Venatici. Very nice. That we're getting clouds really had me thinking it wasn't going to happen tonight. Magnitude 13.4, 1.3 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase b. Visible core, 187 million light years distant, so it's probably somewhere around 65,000 light years in diameter. RA 1248.45 with a declination of plus 35 degrees, 19 minutes, 58 seconds. NGC 4712. Oh, that looks like it's the brighter galaxy overhead, and we've been getting pretty good centering on them. 4712 is likely to be this one. Oh, it's magnitude 12.8. We're going to get this one, that other one later. Okay, so galaxy in Gamma Berenices, magnitude 12.8, 2.3 by 0.9. Yes, it is distending, spiral with a lowercase bc, not much of a core. 201 million light years distant, maybe 140K. RA is 1249.34, declination plus 25, 28, and 11. NGC 4713 is quite apparent in the middle of the field. Galaxy looks like it has a ring. Come on, data, come on up. Galaxy in, all right, handset. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 11.7, 2.9 by 1.8 arc minute. Spiral with a bar, lowercase cd, 56 million light years distant, maybe 65K in diameter. RA 1249.57, declination plus 5, 18 and 39 seconds. I don't understand why it isn't an annularity, but that's quite all right. It's got a nice frontier anyway. Okay, we got our diffraction rings, but if we push the magnification to 105, we see our Galaxy NGC 4714 in Corvus the Crow. Magnitude 14, 1.6 by 1.2 arc minute lenticular spiral, 193 million light years distant, so maybe something like 110,000 light years diameter. RA 1250.19, declination minus 13, 19 and 29 seconds. NGC 4715, waiting on the data, is a galaxy in Berenices, magnitude 13.1, 1.8 by 1.7 arc minutes, spiral lowercase a. We're seeing pretty much the core there with maybe some extensions, vague. 315 million light years distant, maybe 180K in diameter, right ascension 1249.57. With a declination of plus 27 degrees, 49 minutes, and 20 seconds. Let's see if we can get any more out of this as we head out. NGC 4716 sure does look like it has a galaxy there, pushing the magnification up to 105x. We apparently have two. Let's pick it out. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 14.3, 1.1 by 0.7 arc minutes, but it's a lenticular spiral. So probably the brighter one, which is slightly north and west of the fainter one. 202 million light years distance, so maybe 65K in diameter. RA 1250.33, declination minus 9, 27.04. Kind of an edgy on right there, too. Wow. Okay, NGC 4717 is a neighboring galaxy to 47. I believe it was 16. But you never know. You got to skip around. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 15, 1.4 by 0.5 arc minute, spiral with a bar and a lowercase a. 1.4 by 0.5 is indicating it may be this galaxy here. 211 million light years distant. RA is 1250.34. Declination minus 9 degrees, 27 minutes, 47 seconds. We're looking for galaxies in this range to verify that we go from 16.5 overhead to 15 at the equator to something like 13.5 minus 15 to 20 degrees, and then finally 12.5, 10 degrees above the horizon at minus 30, or 15 degrees above the horizon minus 30, but we will continue with that investigation as we proceed through this century. NGC 4718 is vaguely detectable at 30x, 20% e-zoom. Have yet to get the data. It gets a lot delayed as we go through the catalog. Looks like it's a bit edgy on. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 15, 1.8 by 0.6 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase b, 213 million light years distance, so it's quite large, maybe 140. Okay, right ascension 1250.32, declination minus 5, 16.55. If that's our baby, we are having some pretty decent transparency this evening. NGC 4719 is suspected as a very small nebulosity in the middle of the field, and there it is. Seems to have a bit of an aura around the core. It's a galaxy in Canis Venatici, magnitude 13.2, 1.4 by 1.1 arc minute, spiral with bar, lowercase b, 316 million light years distance, so maybe 120K. Right ascension 1250.08, declination plus 33 degrees, 9 minutes and 32 seconds. Let's push it a little bit and then head on out. NGC 4720, look for it, middle of the field, yes, and there it was. Galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 15, Can't be that. Lenticular, so it may be magnitude 14. 0.9 by 0.5 arc minute. Lenticular, 70 million light years distant, so a smallie. Right at maybe, at best, 25K in diameter. Right ascension, 1250-42. Declination, minus 4 degrees, 9 minutes, 22 seconds. A good catch and quite bright in the field of view. NGC 4721 should triangulate with those pair of bright stars. Not sure it was visible from the beginning, but we can look at that later. Galaxy in Comma Berenices, didn't expect it to be. Magnitude 14.4, 0.8 by 0.3 lenticular spiral. 342 million light years distant. Right ascension 1250-19. Declination plus 27, 19, 27 seconds. NGC 4722 near those diffraction reflected light. To the south, Galaxy in Corvus, magnitude 13, 1.8 by 0.7 arc minute. You can see the extensions. Spiral with lowercase a, 59 million light years distant. Right ascension 1251-32. Declination minus 13 degrees, 19 minutes and 49 seconds. No more quotes on size due to running a bit late. NGC 4722 had a neighbor. Let's see if we can pick it out. Where is it? Okay, is it possibly down here? That far off? Anyway, let's describe it. Galaxy Corvus, magnitude 15, 1.1 by 0.7 arc minute, spiral with an M, whatever that means. 58 million light years distant. Right ascension 1250-102. Declination minus 13, 14, 13. Let's back it out again. Yeah, that seemed to be in the middle of the field. I don't know why it ended up so far off. There is a faint fuzzy right about there, which could be it. 4724 is behind a diffraction bar, but quite easily seen. Galaxy in Corvus, magnitude 15. No, I just don't believe that's magnitude 15. But it is a lenticular spiral, 0.9 by 0.6, so possibly magnitude 14. Visual 188 million light years distance, so somewhere around 60K in diameter. Right ascension 1250-53. Declination minus 14, 1955. Got to keep moving. Well, we are really seriously running late here, but let's run this baby up because it's a beauty. I think we saw it earlier. Galaxy in Comma Berenices 4725. Magnitude 9.4, 10.4 by 7.2 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar, lowercase ab. Angularity, let's push it up. 47 million light years distant means it's probably about 130K. No more of that. Right ascension 1250-26. Declination plus 25 degrees, 30 minutes, 2 seconds. We're halfway through, but we're already into it for 18 minutes. So I got to cut the rest of them down to about 10 to 12 minutes. Beautiful view, though, however. NGC 4726, I do believe we've seen some of these galaxies earlier. It's behind the diffraction bar. Galaxy in Corvus. Magnitude 14, 0.7 by 0.2 lenticular spiral. Look for something edgy. 194.5 million light years distant. RA 1250-45. Declination minus 14, 1606. 4726 had a neighbor. I believe we're starting to bring them out with lots of stacks. 9, Galaxy S4727. Galaxy Corvus, magnitude 13, 1.6 by 1.2 arc minutes, spiral with a bar, lowercase bc. 340 million light years distant. A large right ascension, 1250-57 with a declination of minus 14, 1956. Adventures in deepspace.com. Let Steve help you disambiguate these galaxies. Helps me a lot. NGC 4728 is, we remember those two stars. Let's see if we can pick out the next galaxy in it's between them. 4728 is a galaxy in Comma Berenices, magnitude 13.5, 0.8 by 0.8 elliptical. I'm going to go with this one right there. 296 million light years, RA 1250-27, declination plus 27, 2605. There is an NGC 4728b, another galaxy in Comma Berenices, magnitude 16. I do believe we're seeing it right about there. Who knows what its visual is? 1 by 0.4, spiral with lowercase bc. Very distant, 536 million light years. So about, well, larger than Messier 31. RA is 1250.37, declination plus 27 degrees, 25 minutes, and 28 seconds. NGC 4731 is quite apparent in the middle of the field. It's a nice edgy on galaxy. In Virgo, magnitude 11.4, 6.3 by 2.6, spiral bar, lowercase c, and perturbances. 70 million light years distant, so fairly large. Right ascension 1251.01, declination minus 6 degrees, 23 minutes, and 32 seconds. Let's push it up to 150x before we head on out. Okay, there is an NGC 4731A galaxy in Virgo. Its magnitude 14.5, 1.3 by 1.1 arc minute. Irregularities, possibly this extension here. 67 million light years distant. Right ascension 1251.13, declination minus 633.32. I will recenter and we will check that. So you see those little swiggles? That tells us where 31A ended up. It looks like the stars all headed off there. So 31A is this galaxy right there. And I've already given you the data on it. NGC 4733 is in the middle of the field. Looks like it has an annularity. Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 11.9, 1.5 by 1.5 arc minute, elliptical, 55 million light years distant. Right ascension 1251.06 with a declination of plus 10, 54.42. NGC 4734 is in the middle of the field of view. It's a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 13.5. 1 by 0.8 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase c, has a brightest core for a C, 341 million light years distant, so pretty far out there. Right ascension 1251.12 with a declination of plus 4 degrees, 51 minutes, 31 seconds. NGC 4735, I'm not quite barely visible towards the center of the screen. Galaxy, comma, parentheses, magnitude 14.5, 0.6 by 0.3. Spiral with a bar, lowercase bc, 994 million light years, RA 1251.01, declination plus 28, 55.40. We have not made much progress in terms of right ascension this evening. NGC 4736. Whoa! What an egg-shaped galaxy with many tears and spiral arms. A galaxy in Canis Venatici. It's also Messier 94. Magnitude 8.2. 12.3 by 10.8 arc minutes. Spiral with a bar and an annularity. And we can make that out, can't we? But it's a spiral, B, with a ring. 15 million light years distant. Right ascension is 1250.53, declination plus 41.07 and 11. NGC 4737 is that vague star in the middle of the field, galaxy in Canis Venatici. What? It's magnitude 15.3. How did we see that? Probably because it's photographic. 0.5 by 0.4 arc minutes, spiral with a lowercase ab, 314 million light years distant. RA 1250.32 with a declination of plus 34.09.24, and the sky does look quite decent tonight. NGC 4738 is quite apparent, Aegean galaxy in the middle of the field. Comma parentheses, magnitude 13.4. It has some nice neighbors as well. 2.1 by 0.3, 7-to-1 aspect ratio spiral with a lowercase c, does have a core. 218 million light years distant, so a large. Right ascension 1251.08, declination plus 28, 47.17. A quick look, centering them both up, and then bailing. Heading down into Virgo, we see our galaxy selection right there in the middle of the field. In magnitude 14, NGC 4739, 1.4 by 1.2. Easy to pick out because it's elliptical, very bright core. 169 million light years distant, RA 1251.37, declination minus 824.36. NGC 4740 behind a diffraction bar with several other galaxies, probably this one here. Data has yet to come up. Please come up. We are now 25 minutes into this video. Okay, Galaxy Corvus 4740, magnitude 14.5, 0.8 by 0.4 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase b, 200 million light years, RA 125132, declination minus 1413, 15. NGC 4742, that really bright star is a somewhat oblate galaxy, 4742, Galaxy Virgo, magnitude 11.3. Push it up. It's 2.3 by 1.3 arc minute, elliptical class 3, 53 million light years, RA 125148, declination minus 10, 27, and 18. Well, NGC 4745A is either this fainty or this slightly brighter galaxy near this very bright star in Coma Berenices. Magnitude 15.4, 0.8 by 0.8 arc minute, spiral with the bar of the lenticular class, so visually it's probably 14.4. 319 million light years distant, RA 1251.26 with a declination of plus 27 degrees, 25 minutes and 16 seconds. Where there's an A, there's typically a B. 4745b, Galaxy Coma Berenices, it's fainter, magnitude 16, so we're going to go with this one, even though it's further to the west. Lenticular spiral, 541 million light years distant. Right ascension, 1251.21, declination plus 27, 26, 38. So I allowed it to jump just to see where it landed, and it may have been this galaxy here, not that one there. It's a very faint galaxy, 4745b, magnitude 16. Lenticular is probably magnitude 15, but it's at plus 27 degrees, 26 minutes, 38 seconds. Whoa, that is brilliant. I have no idea what that is. I've never seen as intense a light pass through the field of view as that. NGC 4746, a galaxy in Virgo, magnitude 12.6. So, wow, what a nice cigar-shaped galaxy. Magnitude 12.6, 4 by 1.2 arc minute, spiral with a lowercase b, 73 million light years distant. RA is 1251.55, declination plus 12 degrees, 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Let's push up the magnification. We seem to have a little bit more time now. That's our view of NGC 4746. NGC 4747 is visible in the field, a galaxy in Coma Berenices, magnitude 12.4, but very diffuse, 3.3 by 1.3 arc minute, spiral with a bar, lowercase CD. Tiny, tiny little luminous core. 53 million light years distant, RA 1251.45, declination plus 25 degrees, 46 minutes, 28 seconds. NGC 4748 is behind the diffraction bar, but visible, if we can identify it. Galaxy in Corvus, magnitude 14.5, 0.8 by 0.7 arc minute, simply listed as a spiral, so no other clues. 185 million light years distant, RA 1252.12 with a declination of minus 13 degrees, 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Maybe our last view. Let's check it out. There is a NGC 4749, but it's in Draco, plus 71 degrees, 38 minutes and 6 seconds. Okay, it's a rarity to see one of these in the spring, in the early to mid-spring, but what we do have here is, of course, a globular cluster that we captured the other evening. However, this was found using the Messier list, M68. Globular cluster in Hydra, magnitude 7.3, 9.8 arc minutes in size, 33,300 light years distant. RA is 1239.28. Excuse me. Very far south. Minus 26 degrees, 44 minutes, 34 seconds. As I recall, it was a class 10 of 12, and it had about a 5.3 magnitude delta between the cumulative brightness and the brightest stars, which means it's not a particularly compact globular cluster, but it is a very nice view. However, pushing the magnification up doesn't help as the stars get a little ugly. That is our view, our Carpe Noctem view of Messier 68, now at 10:07 p.m., about 1 hour after sunset was at 8:07. I started an hour ago at 9:07 roughly, and it's now 10:07. We have covered the first half of a century of NGC 4700 to 4799. And with that, I'm going to say Carpe Noctem.